This is the My Writing Diary podcast. I'm Bill Wong. Today I have a special guest, Liv. I've decided to collaborate for the first time with another author. It took me a little bit of time to think about this, but I've never collaborated in a writing before, and it's a good exercise, and it probably help me write my other work. I'm going to introduce her, then I'm going to talk about why I'm doing this, what we are doing, and what the story is about. I'd like to introduce Liv.
Hello, I have my very own podcast. It's Just Learn with Liv.
It's actually Just Learn with Liv, right?
Sure, we can do
Just
that.
Learn.
Just
Liv.
Learn. Okay. And we also we recorded a few episodes on Just Learn, and we would like you to listen to
So what's the
them
main
too.
purpose of Just Live or Just Learn?
Just Learn, basically, it's just I like to interview people or even myself, and I can just tell them about people's lives. I mean, we talk about you. We talked about you, and we kind of interviewed you with this story and your new novel. Basically, it's just learning. Like a podcast for learning, new experiences, and beginners.
It's an exploration of life where you are the tour guide.
Yes.
Boom. Is that good or what? All right.
Correct.
We have a little introduction about Liv. And now, why did you agree to collaborate with me on a short story?
Why? I would probably say for multiple reasons, because I really liked and love reading and writing. Normally, when a writer gets into writing, they normally read first. Like just today, I bought 3 books.
Boom. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to read it later or
All
the
3
next
books
day.
just today. That's fast.
Well, I just really like reading. I feel like reading kind of led me to writing. I just personally wrote some short stories on my own, but I never got to finish them because I was too busy. But I feel like by myself, it's not I don't feel too inspired to do it.
You mean motivated?
Motivated to do it. But with someone else, maybe I can learn new experiences and...
So a taskmaster, somebody going, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Right. Someone who's mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to be mean. All right, this would be okay. You like reading. You would like to become better at writing, and you would like to collaborate with somebody because it'll help you hold your feet to whatever writing goals that you have.
Yeah, because I also really like murder mysteries. I like reading them. I like watching them. I basically just like them in general. And I thought, wow, maybe I can write a murder mystery because that's going to be very interesting.
So your favorite genre of books is murder mysteries?
Yes, and fantasy, but
We're not doing a fantasy murder mystery.
We're not doing it.
Boom. Hey, that's good, right?
Yeah, we can do a murder mystery.
Right?
Fantasy.
No, let's do this first. But hey, I could never do either one of those, but we're going to try.
We're going to try. It's a new experience.
And I think it'll be fun. Most of all, for my why is it's going to be fun. I just want this to be fun, and I think it'll be a good learning experience and a good exercise. And even if it doesn't turn into anything, it could be a precursor for something else that's better. A lot of times you have a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
And that stuff could morph into something that's good. We have your why. You talked a little bit about your what? The murder mystery. Do you have a little bit more detail, what you're thinking about?
Yeah, I'm thinking about something like... Because, of course, Your what? Let me think real quick.
Okay. On a podcast, dead silence is not good.
Okay, so my what, more detail would probably be the murder mystery at a museum, a murder mystery at a museum, and a man finds a, killed a dead body in one of the bathroom stalls when he was going to the bathroom.
The premise, and there's a difference between a premise and a plot. Seriously.
Yes.
I don't know the difference, but there is a difference. So you're saying that the premise is a man who's in a museum. He's visiting the museum for what reason?
He is, well, we're still thinking about this, but I have great ideas. I think probably he's visiting. I'm thinking he woke up from a nightmare, visiting a nightmare, breaking up with his ex, his controllable ex, maybe Mary Embers.
His controllable ex. So his a former girlfriend.
Controlling.
So his
That was
girlfriend,
right.
his
That was-
former girlfriend, is very controlling individual.
Yes.
Just okay.
Because so he had a nightmare, and they just broke up like a few weeks ago.
So he had to break up because she was too controlling. Yeah.
I don't know. As writers, we build up the story while we're building up the characters, and as writers, we don't know what's happening next, just like the readers.
That's right. I think the really interesting thing about being a writer, or at least being a fiction writer, you are a god or a goddess, that you get to create worlds, characters, and put them in situations. And the one thing that I'm hoping you learn from this is conflict is really interesting. Either an internal conflict or the internal conflict you with yourself of either how you've grown up or what you're doing, and the conflict with other people. And that is the most delicious part of writing. When people get in these sticky situations and they have to try to extricate themselves out in an intelligent way. I love that. It is so fun. And the fact that we're adding an extra layer of a murder mystery, it heightens what's the word I'm thinking of? It heightens the risk and it heightens the stakes.
Yeah, it does.
Because this person could potentially, if they get caught, and there's death in there, which is really one of the highest stakes that you can have. That's why this might be interesting, but I'm going to need to rely on you to help me because I've never read a murder mystery.
Don't worry, because I read multiple, watched multiple.
You mean, I got you.
I got you.
I got you.
More on to the what question.
Yes.
I'm gonna add on. I think the what question would be probably, it's like the level of the age is probably going to be an adult reading book, because personally myself, I feel like when I read murder mysteries, they're very interesting and don't have a lot of detail though.
They don't have detail? I would think it would be
that I've read at my level, but I never really read. I mean, I read, I think, one murder mystery that was at an adult level, and they had pretty detailed stuff. So I kind of want more detailed so the reader could be like, it's watching the characters kill each other. It's watching them murder them.
But, this is something I want to ask you. Today, a lot of TV shows like CSI and Forensic Files, they get into a lot of the science behind examining the death scene or the murder scene. It might be fun, it'll be interesting to learn some of the science behind how forensic scientists examine a murder scene. Do you think that's something, a place you'd want to go? Learning about forensic science, like I was talking about blood splatter patterns and the science of how they examine footprints, and even the size of a footprint, you can have some determination of the general size of a person. And
that's true.
And also whether they're male or female. So you have an understanding of their size, their weight, and male or female.
Yeah.
Just by a footprint. And that is so interesting.
That is very interesting. I feel like the book would get a higher
You keep saying
grade.
book.
It's a short story, but I do want to turn it into a book if we get too into it.
But might be interested in getting into some of the science behind it.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea because now I feel like not just the reader's reading a murder mystery, but the reader itself is in a murder mystery because
Yes.
they now get evidence, details of what the characters have in common, have differences, and then they could probably figure out who it is, maybe not, and they figure it out at the end.
The other thing, and one of the reasons which I only came to the realization the other day, museums are interesting because museums have cameras almost everywhere.
They do.
Except, where do you think
bathrooms.
except the bathroom. But you can see who's gone in and out, so you know potential suspects, but you don't know what happened inside. So
You don't.
So there's some idea of who it could be, but you don't know who it was, which I like.
Yeah.
So I actually did that on purpose.
Yeah,
No, that's interesting, right?
it is very interesting because I feel like it gives the short story a lot of depth into it because I feel like,
And the other thing is a lot of times forensic scientists can have a general estimate of the time of death, which might be a few hours. So within that time, there could have been multiple people who have caused that death, but they might be wrong. It's just a guesstimate.
it is just a guess.
So the scientists might be wrong.
Maybe not.
Okay.
We don't know.
So the premise is a man named William finds
William Taylor?
Yes. Or why don't you talk about what the premise was again?
Okay, so William Taylor just woke up from a nightmare, which is like the start of the story. Well, we're thinking about it. We think it's going to be the start of the story. He wakes up. Well, he's in the nightmare and he wakes up breathing heavily and stuff. But then he also coincidentally he has a date to that same museum that he just had kind of like memories from his ex. So now he has a new date going with him, a different woman called Ava Fisher, and his ex named Mary Embers. So Ava Fisher and he meets up at the museum, kind of like walks around, then goes to the film. He leaves her like on the sitting down, and he goes to the bathroom. And this was not my idea, okay? I just want to.
So if it wasn't your idea, then it had to be my idea.
No, but all up to that was kind of my idea, but this part is not
someone else's idea.
This was someone else's idea.
Well, we can throw it out. If we don't like it, let's get rid of it.
We can throw it out, but we'll see.
So you don't like the idea of him finding the body in the bathroom?
No, I love that idea.
Okay.
I love that idea, but I don't like how, since like the boys' bathroom was filled up, he had to go into the woman's bathroom because.
Then how would we get him to do the thing and let me talk about this. The reason I was thinking was interesting is I like the fact that somebody is doing something quote unquote a little bit wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the little bit wrong is just a social norm that you don't use a woman's bathroom. However, some of the bathrooms are gender.
Yeah.
Gender free, right?
Yeah.
So he could potentially be looking for a bathroom, and maybe we should change it a little bit. That he just uses, just like at some Starbucks, it's non-gender.
Yeah.
He goes and finds a non-gender bathroom, and he finds a woman.
Is
that better?
Yeah, that's great. I feel like that just changed the situation. I feel like because then the readers would be questioning why he went to the girls' bathroom, and then they would get this dramatic bomb and explosion.
This icking feeling.
Yeah,
is there ickiness in there?
Yeah, there is ickiness because they just got that he went into a woman's bathroom and then he found a dead body. They're just like processing all this information at once. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's too confusing.
We'll change it. We'll change it to a non, like, you know what I mean? Like at Starbucks, it's a non-gender.
Yeah.
We changed it right here and now. Boom. Right? Yeah. Okay, so finish your thought about the story now.
And then there's another woman that also walks into the bathroom at the same time. He finds
Ava, right?
Ava. It's
No,
finding.
she walked in. Oh, no, my bad. Go, continue.
Um.
My bad.
So another woman, not unknown, like just basically literally just like a random woman that just comes into the bathroom. She saw him and screams because actually we're just changing it because there's
Maybe
it's
we
a
need to get
woman
rid of that old
bathroom.
woman.
Yeah. We're not for sure now. I'm not for sure because like we just changed it, so I'm not for sure.
But we can come up with something else, right?
Yeah, we could. We definitely could and should because it's our short story, and I feel like.
And also, she could even scream for a reason why, which is totally unrelated. So say now it's a generic or non-gender bathroom, and a woman can scream or yelp or a short scream like, "Oh, I lost my wallet." Something non-associated with it, which would scare somebody. And you would think, oh my God, she's screaming because of what I found, but it might be something totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds actually more interesting because now the readers are taking in information, not too confusing, but it has more detail. And now they're like, oh, I see. They're doing that and that because of that.
Yeah, she could have forgot her credit card at the front desk when she was buying the ticket, and she just realized it, and she yelped, totally unrelated to at the same moment that.
Yeah, she just remembered such a coincidence.
Right. So that's actually always interesting. But I'm coming from movies that I've seen. I haven't really read any novels.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about the what. Basically, William Taylor has found an former girlfriend dead in a bathroom in a museum.
Such a coincidence.
Such a coincidence. And we talked about the why. And when is the story going to be happening?
I think, like, you mean.
What is the time frame of the story, the setting of the story?
I personally think it should be present in 2024 day because I feel like now we don't really, because I feel like we know more. We can even go to the museum that we're thinking of.
Which I love.
Yeah, my idea. And we could go there and actually see what's there. Like, because now we can, like, get more detail in what they're looking at that moment. Like, it's like changing it up by, like, for example, if we didn't go to the museum, it would be like they stood there like looking and staring at this artwork. Or it could be like they stood there staring at the beautiful blah, 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 all that jazz, because we went there. And now people that also went there know, like, oh, I know what art piece they're looking at right now. And they can connect their lives with the story.
You know what also I learned? You can make stuff up too, where it doesn't have to be exactly perfect because it's fiction. And fiction, even though you have real places, you can sort of change and morph them a little bit. And I think people won't get on you too badly if you just change the little things. So even if the museum we're talking about, and you as homework, maybe you can go to some contemporary, and this is taking place in Chicago, correct?
Yeah.
So you can go to a museum and you can even take photographs, and we can make stuff up that in this museum there are some gender neutral bathrooms, even though in reality there aren't.
Well, maybe there.
But if they aren't, we're making something up, and I don't think people would get too upset about it.
They probably wouldn't, because it's just a book.
Yeah, exactly. It's fiction. That's what fiction is. We're making stuff up.
Okay, so also I've read a Script Scratch by Lindsay Curry, and she took places in Chicago that she made it a bit creepy, like it's a ghost story. So I'm thinking about that when you say it like that.
Yeah, we don't have to adhere strictly to. It would be nice to have some semblance of reality, but you can make stuff up.
Correct.
So even if a certain museum that we're deciding to use doesn't have gender-free bathrooms, we can say that they do.
Yeah.
Okay. And we even can say certain type of art that they have. So. And the other thing that I think, or the other plot line, which I think is very interesting, is William is visiting the museum to celebrate some of the best directors of the 20th century.
Yes,
And-
with a date.
I'm sorry, say that again?
With a date?
Yes, with his date, with Ava, right? And one of the director that's being featured these next couple days is Alfred Hitchcock. And Alfred Hitchcock has used a lot of, or has created movies or directed movies that are dealing with murder and in suspense. And it would be really interesting somehow to tie that in, I don't know how, to, I don't even know if we should
Yeah,
have multiple deaths.
We could, because we can follow the story that he does into our story, kind of. Like, we don't have to say every single, like, thing, but they're like, oh, wait, didn't that happen in the film, too? That they just watched?
Yeah. So I think that would be really interesting. About, there was one of Alfred Hitchcock's movie was called The Rope, of which somebody was strangled with the rope. Another one where someone was killed in a shower. Another one where they were pushed out of a balcony. And that might be sort of interesting to have a mirror of events or ways people die that are similar to the movie. And I don't know how we would do that considering it's a short story, but we should just get the framework of a short story first.
Yeah, we can even watch it one day.
We could. So, okay. So, what did we talk about today? First of all, we introduced my guest and collaborator, Liv, and why we're doing this, what we're doing, and a little bit about the story. Oh, the last part is how we're going to be doing this. So we set up, I really like this writing app called Readsy, and we can collaborate and make comments on our work. So over the next few weeks, I don't know how long it's going to take because I'm still currently trying to finish my novel, but we can work on this. And Liv is trying to finish school or go to school. So that's what we've been talking about. Do you have any other comments? Anything else?
Not really. I just really excited to do this book or short story because I'm really excited to write, and I love writing. Also, I love fiction, fantasy, and murder mysteries.
Now, can I ask a question about some of the writing you've done at school? What are some of the assignments and what are some of the things that you've done? And what have you liked?
Pretty boring stuff. It's normally just like essays about what you read. I mean, and sometimes like the stories aren't very good that we read, and now we have to like make an essay about it, and I'm just not too happy about it because sometimes it's a bit boring. And
so
it's like an argumentative essay.
So not only what you have to read isn't very good, but what you have to create is also not good.
Yeah. They don't pick the best stories.
Really?
Yeah. And because they're short stories.
Okay. Oh, you never read novels?
Well, we do, but we don't really write an essay about that.
Okay, so we get to create something, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this will hopefully be a good exercise for you, and I'm hoping you learn something. And I would love it if and when I get a literary agent, that I would love for you to sit in on meetings I have with them. I'm serious. And also maybe if when I get a publisher, they're going to have some edits and some comments back to me. And many times they will decide what the cover art is and what the title is going to be. And I'd love for you, if I get to that point, for you just sit in there so you can absorb and see what happens or what doesn't happen. I'm serious.
Yeah, that sounds great, but it's just a bit hard because we live in different states.
But we can do it Zoom, right?
Zoom.
Am I right? And we have to get people's permission to do that.
Of course, yeah.
But if I have a bestseller, I think I can have them do it.
Bestseller? You sure about that? You sure about that?
No, I didn't say sure. I'm just saying if I could. All right. So this is the My Writing Diary podcast by Bill Wong. We talk with Liv, and we're going to write a short story together. Thank you very much. See you on the other side.